How I deal with PTSD as a Marine veteran. I know what it's like to carry trauma long after the battle's over, but I also know it doesn't have to control your life forever. This video, I'm going to share how I overcame PTSD without relying on medications. I'm Dr. Ray Peralta, physical therapist, exercise physiologist, run coach, Marine veteran, and for the past 10 years, I've helped hundreds of people rehab injuries and get back in shape. But today, I want to share my own story because I've been there too. A quick note before I dive in, I'm not morally against people taking medications for PTSD. For many, it can be life changing and necessary. I'm simply sharing my own journey and the steps that worked for me personally. By the end of this video, you'll learn some of the four major changes I made that helped me overcome PTSD, reclaim my health, and build a stronger, more resilient life. I'll walk you through my story, the science behind PTSD, and the exact steps I use. So if you're struggling, you'll have a roadmap you can start applying today. So around 7% of U.S. Veterans experience PTSD at some point in their lives. PTSD symptoms include hypervigilance, flashbacks, avoidance, negative beliefs, and even depression or guilt. Many veterans also live with chronic pain, and the two feed into each other. Research shows that veterans with PTSD and pain have higher pain catastrophizing and lower self-efficacy. That's why trauma, pain, and mindset all need to be addressed together. So for me, PTSD wasn't just from war. It started with being physically assaulted as a teenager and later by members of my own squad when I was in the Marine Corps. On top of that, I also lost friends to war. And those scars, right, they stay with you. I was stuck in hypervigilance, guilt, and fear. But I also realized something. Growth after trauma, what's called post-traumatic growth, is possible. That growth shows up as a deeper appreciation of life, stronger relationships, new opportunities, inner strength, and sometimes even spiritual change. And spirituality becomes a vital, and for me, that was actually a vital bridge, was like a spiritual aspect to life. So, some four of the major changes. So, one was lifestyle medicine, right? So, diet and exercise. So I switched from like eating processed junk foods all the time to eating more healthier, plant-based diet, getting more fruits and vegetables, right? Hydrating, getting enough protein, enough healthy carbs, healthy fats, right? Instead of going out to McDonald's all the time or Popeyes or Kentucky Fried Chicken. Every now and then I'll have some junk food. Sure, I'll have a slice of pizza, but it's not my everyday diet. 'Cause the old me, the old version of me, I used to have like junk food every single day of the week. But now I really cut that back significantly, right? So, I try to eat healthy at least 80% of the week, right? I'm eating, fruits, vegetables, grains, lentils, right? I try to do like a vegetarian diet. Every now and then I'll have some dairy, of course. But for me, it's really about, having fruits and veggies in the diet, being healthy. And then, yes, every now and then I'll have that slice of pizza, right? And then for exercise, consistent training, try to get at least 30 minutes of cardio every week. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, which would be 150 minutes a week, right? So for me, that'd be either a run, a walk, a bike, a rucking, and then strength training at least twice a week, right? So at least 5 days a week, I'm doing a combination of cardio and strength training. For me, I'm a big fan of calisthenics, things like push-ups, squats, lunges, pull-ups, burpees, but also enjoy lifting weights. So at home, I have some kettlebells, some heavy bands. And in the past, I used to have a gym membership, but now I have like a home gym set up, so I'm able to work out at home with like some really heavy bands with my X3 bar system, bar and very heavy bands. But I noticed that exercise helped lower my stress and rebuild my confidence. Sleep and stress regulation. I make sure to prioritize at least 7 hours of sleep a night because I could tell a difference. I'm more stressed, more anxious, more like paranoid and stuff if I'm getting less than 6 hours a night. Journaling, making sure I get like early morning sunlight. So I'd go out for like a morning walk or something. And that also helped to improve my quality of sleep. Actually, interesting to find that there's a research study to actually confirm this, that just getting morning light, getting morning sunlight improves your quality of sleep in the evening. It's pretty interesting how just getting morning sunlight exposure. I noticed that my stress levels dropped. Pain and fatigue. Also, that I also dealt with chronic back pain, right? So back pain, I think, was related to I had like scoliosis as a kid, and then I joined the Marine Corps. Kind of underweight, dealing with. And then my back got flared up. I actually had like a back injury in the Marine Corps. Had back pain and leg pain, and I noticed that I dealt with that for years. It would go on and off. And, I'd rest, but doing this like morning sunlight routine with the morning walking, doing some stretching, really helped improve my back pain and just my overall energy levels and fatigue. Another thing that helped was getting professional help. I worked with a physical therapist, but also a mental health therapist, a psychologist, right? So with the psychologist, I did cognitive processing therapy, helping me reframe negative beliefs. prolonged exposure to help me kind of face my fears gradually. For me, I was also kind of afraid of being assaulted again because I was assaulted as a teenager and also as a Marine by, again, members of my own unit. So I took up Brazilian Jiu Jitsu for self defense, right? Being in a controlled combat situation helped retrain my body to feel safe again. Then mindfulness, spirituality, and quitting bad habits. So for me, it was taking up breath work, things like box breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, alternate nostril breathing, and then doing a yoga, but more in a spiritual type of yoga, like try to balance my energies, meditation. Doing this on a daily basis. I would spend like about 30 minutes, like 15 minutes on meditation, another 15 or 30 minutes on yoga. And this kind of spiritual yoga practice for me gave me hope and calm. And I know for others that they may find spirituality in the conventional religions, your Abrahamic religions and things like that. I totally understand that as well, but I'm just sharing what worked for me. And additionally, quit smoking and binge drinking, which helped improve my sleep, energy, and recovery completely. 'Cause I also took up smoking when I was in the Marine, so I gave up smoking. Maybe a year or two after I left the Marine Corps, gave up smoking. I used to smoke like different types of cigarettes and things, and then binge drinking. I would smoke and drink, so I gave that up. So every now and then, like once in a while, I'll have one drink, right? Like one beer, but it's not like my old way. My old way, I used to have 5 beers in a night or more, binge drinking. So I gave that up as well. And I noticed a big improvement in my health and my mental health, right? So a combination of these dietary changes, these lifestyle habits really made a big part of my transformation by someone who suffered from symptoms of PTSD. So now feeling healthy, where it's almost like in remission, where people don't even know that I had PTSD. People are surprised that I had, anxiety, depression, suicidal ideations and things. So the truth is, there's no single pill or quick fix for PTSD. For me, it was, again, that consistent lifestyle shifts, therapy, movement, and faith. And those changes helped me overcome PTSD and reclaim my life. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's possible. And if you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with a veteran who needs to hear it. And if you want more tools on rebuilding your health, mindset, and discipline as a veteran, I'm actually going to be launching a veteran reboot challenge. Message me on Instagram. If you just want to check out my free training, I also have a free training video. The link is in the description. It's just a free training on how to run and train pain-free, because I'm also, again, a physical therapist. All right, so you don't have to fight this battle alone.